ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। नत्वा श्रीभारती तीर्थ
भारती तीर्थ
विद्यारण्यमुनीश्वरो
विद्यारण्यमुनीश्वरो
अधीमहे पञ्चदशीम्
पंचदशी
कैवल्यपदसिद्धये।
कैवल्यपदसिद्धये।
पंचमहाभूत विवेक प्रकरणम श्लोक नंबर 11। वाक्पानिपादपायोपस्थैः
वाक्पादपायोपस्थैः
अक्षैस्तत्क्रिया। Okay, understand the full line. वाक्पानिपादपायोपस्थैरक्षैस्तत्क्रिया जनिः मुखादिगोलकेश्वास्ते
मुखादिगोलकेश्वास्ते
Karmendriya Panchakam.
तत्कर्मेन्द्रिय
Panchakam.
पंचकम्
Manodashendriyadhyaksham.
मनोदशेन्द्रियाध्यक्षम्
Padmagolake Stitham.
Padmagolake
हृत्पद्मकोलके
Sthitam.
स्थितम्
Tachantakkaranam bhagyeshu.
तच्छान्तकरणं
Bhagyeshu.
भाग्येषु
Asvantantriyadvinendriyaihi.
अस्वादन्त्यान्द्रियेन्द्रियैः
I think we have seen up to this shloka number 12. We are doing the vichara of the word idam. Idam of the Vakya of the Chandogya Upanishad. Tadeva Somya idam agra asit ekameva dvitiyam. Every word is going to be analyzed. It's a beautiful analysis. Now idam. Idam is this drishya prapancha. This world of objects and things which are available for objectification. When we say objectification, it implies pramanam. What pramanam? Pratyaksha. Pratyakshadi pramanam. For idam cognition, for idam knowledge, we don't need shastra. It is pratyaksha gamya. Pratyakshadi gamya. Idam is pratyaksha gamya. This prapancha. Even within the prapancha also. Apart from pratyaksha, anumanadi pramanam also are employed to know the objects. So the idam, when we see the basic constituents of this idam is pancha bhuta, pancha mahabhuta. We say mahabhuta because they are the causes, basic causes, fundamental causes, 5 great elements. From that, only the bhautikas, elementals are born. Indriyas are elementals. Karmendriyani, Jnanendriyani, Antakaranam. The Antakaranam alone playing the different roles. Manaha, Buddhihi, Chittam, Ahankaraha, Ityadi. And the objects, sense objects, whether it is Stula, Sukshma, all come under Bhautika. Bhutebhyaha Jatam, Bhautika Prapancham. All these are Bhautika. So everything comes under idam. Everything which are available for knowing as this, that is idam. So therefore, this, when we say, then that is not this. That means in the Mahavakya, Tatutvam Asi. That Brahma, Tatutvam Asi, that Brahma, Chaitanyam, this because Tatutvam Asi, Tatu Brahma, Aham Asi. Tatu Brahma, Aham Asi. This cannot be, this is not Jada. This is not Jada. So therefore, is this Atma or Anatma? That is the Viveka. Since they are available for knowing objectification, therefore they cannot be Atma. So that is the Viveka we are going to do it. For that we have to understand, therefore, idam vichara. Negating these as not Atma. To negate, we have to know what it is. That is why the author, he dilates the topic and presents elaborately, starting from the Indriya Vishaya onwards. And we have seen the Vishayas of the Jnanendriya, the sense objects with regard to the Jnanendriya, the sense organs of knowledge, and the sense organs. Sense organs can perceive the objects both internal as well as external. Internal perception, external perception. So internal perception is something new. For the first time we are hearing Panchadasi. It means the author deals with it elaborately. No other text has dealt so elaborately as Panchadasi. When we say sense organ, we always take sense organs, objectify sense objects which are external. Not only external, even internal also, internal perception. There are perceptions at the level of, at the internal level also, with regard to seeing, with regard to touch, with regard to smell, all these are idam. All these are objectifiable, therefore idam. Anything which is objectifiable is idam. What about the mind? Mind is also idam only. Mind is also idam. You can know the thought. You can perceive the thoughts of the mind. What thought comes, you know it. So that is also idam. So, therefore, sense organs of knowledge and sense organs of action, which we saw the last class, Vak, Pani, Pada, Payu, Upastha, Pastaihi, Akshaihi, Tat Kriyajanihi. All these sense organs of action, and they are located in the respective places, in the physical location in the body, because they are located and they are subtle, because of which the physical organs function. Therefore, it is subtle, not available for perception, but it is inferred. Sense organs are also inferred. This is another information. Sense organs are karyanumeyam. We employ sense organs for knowing sense objects, and we say pratyaksha, but sense organs themselves are karyanumeyam. They are inferred. They themselves are anumanavan, arthapat. They are also inferred only. Because you perceive, therefore it must be there. Karyanumeyam. How in detail, in particular, the author deals with. We never thought, we just take sense organs even for granted, and we say pratyaksha. The author doesn't leave that also. Even the sense organs, the presence of sense organs, they are inferred. So the whole thing is inference. Our whole Vyavahara is only through the pratyakshadi pramana. Pratyaksha, main is pratyaksha, indriyas. With indriyas only we contact with the external world, we do Vyavahara. And the indriyas themselves are inferred. All inference. You can imagine how much this inference is important. The whole Vyavahara, the whole Prapancha, it's one. We know by inference. Sense organs are inferred. And based on the sense organs, again, further inference. Yatra yatra dhumaha tatra tatra vannihi, inference. And two-step inference that becomes arthapatti. And this moola pramanani, that itself, they are inferred. With the inferred sense organs we operate, and with what we operate, that becomes, the sense object becomes pratyaksha. Therefore, we call pratyaksha. It's all beautiful analysis. Now, so after presenting the sense organs and their both the Jnanendriya and Karmendriya and their locus in the physical body, then the manaha, the mind, which is the adhyaksha, which presides over the sense organs, both knowledge and action, sense organs of knowledge and action. It is also located. The mind, even though mind pervades the entire Sharira, but its presence, its presence or its recognition, its upalabdhisthanam is Rit Padma, Golaka. Golaka, the physical part, which is Hrit, Hridaya, and Padma, lotus. The lotus art, the art itself, if you see, it resembles a lotus, upside down lotus. The lotus bud, when it is upside down, how it looks. So it is the mind appearance. The mind looks, the art looks like that. The heart, which is the physical heart, which is the locus of the mind. The heart also, like the lotus bird, with their head down, how it looks, the same way it looks. So, and that is on the left side of the body. Heart is on the left side, therefore, mind is also. This is called Hridaya Guha. Digitam Guhayam iti in Upanishad we have seen. That is Antakaranam. This Antakaranam, it is Swatantriyam or Aswatantriyam. Mind themselves cannot perceive sense objects because there is an interface. The interface is the sense organ. Without sense organ, mind cannot function. Therefore, it is Antakaranam. That's why Antakaranam. Bhagyakaranam are the Bhagyakaranani are the interface with the sense objects. So therefore, mind, up to this we have seen. Now the 13th shloka, which we have to see. So by saying Hrit Padma Golake Stitam, so it has a locus. Therefore, it is Idam Shabda Vachya. Why the author mentions all this? The locus, the Uplabdhisthanam. Sense organs are located, sense organs of knowledge are located, sense organs of action are located, then mind is located, locus. Therefore, Idam can be referred to as this. When it is located, it means it is parichannam, it is limited. It is not all pervasive. Though mind is all pervasive, the entire body, that is different mind, but not the other sense organs. Maybe Togindriya pervades the entire Sharira. That is also only Shariram. Outside the Shariram, it doesn't pervade sense organs. Similarly, the mind is located. Even though mind is all over the body, Shariram, it is located. It can be, it can be known. It can be known by the thoughts. The presence of the mind can be inferred from the thoughts. Okay. So all these they come under the idam topic, idam. Then after that only we are going to do the the viveka. Why this idam is not Atma? It's going to be negated. So now the negation is not done. Just we are trying to understand what is idam. It's a big idam. That's a big discussion. Now the 13th shloka, let us read. Aksheshvartha pitheshvetat
अक्षेष्वत्ततापितेषु तत्
gunadosha vicharakam
गुणदोषविचारकम्
sattvarajastamashchasya
सत्त्वरजस्तमश्चास्य
sorry sattvam rajastamascha
सत्त्वं रजस्तमश्चास्य
guna vikriyate hitaihi
गुणा विक्रियते तैः
aksheshu means indriyeshu aksheshu artarpiteshu etat gunadosha vicharakam sattvam rajaha tamaha cha asya means manasaha ityartha manasaha. Here it is manasaha pronoun manasaha. Atra asya is manasaha gunaha hi taihi vikriyate. Aksheshu. Aksha meaning indriya. It is from the dhatu akshu. Yaptau. Pachadi. Akshaha iti. Pachadi ach. So aksheshu indriyeshu. Sati saptami. Aksheshu artarpiteshu satsu vishesam. This sati saptami. That is indriyeshu artarpiteshu. Artarpiteshu means artha arpiteshu. That is with regard to its sense organs. Vishayeshu. Swa Vishayeshu ityartha. Artarpiteshu. When the sense organs aksheshu, the sense organs come in contact with the sense objects, that meet artarpiteshu satsu etat gunadosha vicharakam. Etat referring to manaha. Manaha is a topic. Previous shloka, 12th shloka, he said manaha, tashendriya adhyaksham manaha. Therefore, etat referring to manaha. Etat manaha, that is when the sense organs meet with the sense objects. Aksheshu artarpiteshu satsu manaha gunadosha vicharakam. Manaha, the mind, gunadosha vicharakam karoti. The mind, what does the mind do? It does the gunadosha vichara. Gunadosha vicharam karoti. Etat manaha vicharakam, referring to manaha. We have to supply words to understand what it is. Mind becomes the gunadosha vicharaka. Gunadosha vicharaka is Bahuvrihi Samasa. Vicharaka, kap pratyaya. Ka is there. Therefore, it is Bahuvrihi Samasa. Gunadora vicharaka. Gunascha doshascha gunadosho. Gunadosha yoho. Vicharaha. Gunadosha yoho vicharaha. Gunadoshayoga vicharaha, Gunadosha vicharaha, and it is Bahuvigi, that which does the vichara of the Gunadosha, Kapratyaya, Gunadosha vicharaka, Manaha Napumsakalim, therefore Gunadosha vicharakam. So, Gunascha doshascha Gunadosho, Gunadosha yogo vicharaha, Shashtitat Purusha, referring to the mind, therefore we add Kapratyaya Bhuri Samasa, Gunadosha vicharakaha, vicharakam, Napumsakalinga mind, therefore Gunadosha vicharakam. It means the mind does the Gunadosha vichara. The mind gets the data from the sense organs. Get the data of the sense objects from the sense organs. That is why it is aswatantriya. It cannot operate without, it cannot know the, not it cannot operate, it cannot know the Vishayas, sense objects, without sense organs. Mind can operate independently of the sense organs. Sense organs cannot operate independently. Still, mind is aswatantriya because without the sense organs, the mind cannot know the sense objects. Therefore, it is aswatantriya. Sense organs cannot operate without the mind. Sense organs cannot operate without the mind. Only when the mind is there, sense organs function. So there is such paraspara dependency. So when the sense organ, without sense organs, mind is aswatantriya. Mind cannot know the sense objects. Therefore, the sense organs, therefore the mind depends on the sense organs for the data of the sense objects, which the mind brings in. Now, once the data comes, what does the mind do? It does the vichara, analysis. It does the analysis of guna, dosha, merits and demerits of the sense objects. Sense organs are loyal reporters. They are just a report. They don't color the sense objects. It is reports as it is. The reports, sense organs report the data faithfully as it is. Then the mind should process the data. Then the mind should decide the data, whether the data is is good or not good. Guna dosha. It has to weigh the data for its merits and demerits. This kind of vichara is done by, it's possible only at the level of mind. Only mind can do vichara. Therefore, guna vicharakam manaha. The job of the mind is guna vichara. So guna vichara, sheelam manaha bhavati. And this mind, even though it is made of sattva guna amsha of all the panchamaha bhuta, but it is influenced by the three gunas, sattvam, rajaha, tamaha. They influence the mind. The presence of these gunas are also known to the mind. Therefore, the mind is, even though the material, the basic material out of which the mind is made is sattva, but these three gunas of the sense objects can influence. Therefore, the mind becomes sattva, rajas, tamas. That is why sattvika purusha, we say. And the mind, sattva influences the mind. Therefore, we say the person is sattvika. Similarly, rajasika. The one who has more sattva is called brahmana. The chaturvarnya maya srishtam in the Gita, that classification is based on guna karma vibhagashaha, as Bhagavan says, chaturvarnya maya srishtam, guna karma vibhagashaha. That chaturvarnyam, the four divisions based on guna and karma. Guna, what are the guna? Sattva, rajas, tama. The predominance of sattva If sattva is sattva guna, and the characteristics of the person who has predominance of sattva is intelligence, knowledge, the calmness, the tranquility of the mind. They're all sattva guna. Sukham, sattva sukham sanjayate. The happiness is born of sukha, of the sattva. Rajas stands for activity. So therefore, the sattva, rajas, tama, these gunas influence the mind. The characteristics of the sattva, rajas, tamas of the vishayas, as well as the nature of the person, everything are known to the mind. They influence the mind and known to the mind. So therefore, the three gunas are there. Invariably, three gunas are, the whole prapancha is made of, it has come from Maya, which is Trigunatmika. Therefore, the three gunas are there. Therefore, the mind will be naturally be influenced by three gunas. So therefore, the three gunas vikriyate. Vikriyate hi taihi. The mind is influenced by the three gunas. Vikaram prapnoti. Manaha, because of these three gunas, vikaram prapnoti. Therefore, the sense objects which are made of these three gunas, when the sense objects are brought in by the sense organs, and the gunas of the sense objects influence the mind. Influence the mind. Therefore, manaha vikaram prapnoti vikriyate. Manaha vikriyate. Vikriyate karmani prayoga. Vikriyate iti. Indriyani, they are just Indriyani shabdasparshadinam jnanam janayanti. How? Through the mind. Mind only does this is good, this is not good, idam samichinam, idam asamichinam. Iti the gunadosha vicharaha manaha eva karoti. And therefore, manaha vikaram prapnoti vikriyate. Manaha gunaha vikriyate. Taihi kaihi gunaihi manaha vikriyate. Sattvam rajas tamascha asya gunaha vikriyate hi taihi. Taihi referring to this sattva rajas tamobhihi gunaihi manaha vikriyate. The mind is influenced by the gunas. Influenced by the gunas only. Therefore, we have different characteristics of the human beings. So many possibilities. The permutation combination. The difference in the degree of sattva and rajas and tamas. The difference and the permutation combination of that. Therefore, no two beings are same. There is a difference in the degree of sattva or rajas and tamas and their combination. Innumerable possibilities. Therefore, there are different people having different characters, exhibiting different qualities. How do you account for all this? This sattva, rajas, tama, gunaha, influenced by this, influenced by that, the mind is, and therefore the character is, the behavior is, the action is. Now let us read the Tika. Dashendriya adhyakshatvam eva vishadayati. The presence. Dashendriya adhyaksham. What is the Dashendriya adhyaksham? Dashendriya adhyaksham is manaha. So it is presented here. Aksheshu iti. Aksheshu indriyeshu artharpiteshu. Indriyeshu artharpiteshu is vishayeshu stapiteshu. Indriya vishayeshu stapiteshu aksheshu satsu. Mind, the sense objects. The sense objects are placed in the, when the sense objects are placed in the sorry, when the sense organs are placed in the sense objects, means when sense organs come into contact with the sense objects. Etat manaha, etan manaha, sandhi, etan manaha, guna dosha vicharakam, and the mind is guna dosha vicharaka manaha, idam samichinam, this is good. Idam asamichinam, this is not good. Weighing the pros and cons. Idam asamichinam, ityadi, vicharakari ityartaha, the mind does the vichar, therefore mind is vicharakari. Vicharakari, vicharakarin shabda, vicharakari, vicharakari, vicarakarini, vicharakarini, like vari shabda, like not vari, like karin shabda or gunin shabda. Karin is, they say karin is not pullinga, okay. That's why I said gunin shabda. Guni, gunini, gunini. So mind is napumsakalinga, therefore vicharakari, pratama ekavachana. Ayam bhavaha, atmanaha, pramatratvena, सर्वज्ञान साधारण्या च चक्षुरादीनां रूपादि ज्ञान जनन मात्रे चरितार्थत्वात् तद्गुणदोष विचारस्य उपलभ्यमानस्य अन्यथा अनुपपत्या तत्कारणत्वेन मनः अभ्युपगन्तव्यम् इति मनसः वैराग्य कामादि अनेक विध वृत्तिम् अनेक वृद वृत्तिमत्व प्रदर्शनाय सत्त्वादिगुणवत्वं दर्शयति सत्त्वम् इति. Okay, here it says the Jnanendriyas are there with regard to their Vishaya, sense objects. They are placed in their respective sense objects, and they bring in the data, the mind analyzes and says this is good, this is not good. The mind is nothing but the Chidabhasa. You can call it Chidabhasa. Chidabhasa means this the Antakarnam, the Upadhi with Chaitanya. So, as we saw in Vedanta Sara, Upagita Chaitanya. Antakarna Upagita Chaitanya. Antakarna Upagita Chaitanyam, the mind is Jada, that becomes conscious because of its association with consciousness, Atma. Therefore becomes Pramata. Therefore, Chidabhasa becomes Pramata, not Atma. Atma doesn't have any doership. There is no Trutvam. The Trich Pratyaya not there for Atma. Atma is Atma. The knower, the walker, doer, eater, seer, etc. All this Abhimana, Kartra Abhimana is only for it's only for this, only because of the association of the Atma with Anatma. The Antakarna, Chidabhasa only as its Kartrutvam. Chidabhasa, Antakarna is Jada, Atma Chaitanyam. That both cannot mix up, but there is a mix up, seemingly mix up. And therefore mind becomes conscious. That conscious mind becomes Atma, Pramata, not Atma, Pramata. So, therefore, Pramata, Pramatratvena, Atmanaha, Ayam Bhavaha, Atmanaha Pramatratvena, Adi Atma is Chidabhasaha. Chaitanyam associated with the manifesting through the, that is better, manifesting through the Upadhi, Antakarna Upadhi becomes Pramata. Chaitanyam manifesting through the Antakarna Upadhi becomes Pramata. So, therefore, that Pramatratvena Sarvajnana Sadharanyat. So, in all the Jnanam, this Pramatratva is Sadharana. It is see. When I see I the seer. When I smell, I am the smeller. When I eat, eater. So with regard to all the jnanam, which are brought to Chakshuradi-nam, Rupadi, Janana Matre. Chakshuhu Adi, these Indriyas, which generate jnanam, with regard to that, the knower of that is this Chidabhasa. And this Chidabhasa, it does the Gunadosha Vichara, it does the analysis of the Vishaya. So, it does the analysis Charitartatvat, Rupadi Jnana Jaranamatre Charitartatvat, Tat Gunadosha Vicharasya, Gunadosha Vicharasya, Upalabhyamanasya, Anyata Anupapatya, Tat Anyata Anupapatya. Gunadosha Vichara. Who does the Gunadosha Vichara? This mind does the Gunadosha Vichara. So, therefore, because the Gunadosha Vichara is done, therefore you have to accept mind. You have to infer the presence of the mind by Arthapatti. As the sense organs are inferred, similarly, Gunadosha Vicharasya Upalabhyamanasya Anyata Anupapatya Tat Karanatvena. Gunadosha Vichara is done. Gunadosha Vichara, you have to accept, we do that. This is good, this is not good. The smell is good, the smell is not good. Immediately we close our nose, the smell is not good. Similarly, we close our eyes. This is not good for the eyes. Too much of light is there, we close, or something which we should not see, we close. It means Gunadosha Vichara is done. Who does that? From these are the Karya. Therefore, we have to infer the Karanam, as we have done in the case of sense organs. Similarly, in the case of mind also. That's why he says, Upalabhya Manasya Anyata Anupapatti. Anyata Anupapatti is Arthapatti. By Anyata Anupapatti, Arthapatti, that is by Arthapatti, inference, two-step inference. Therefore, Tat Karanatvena Manaha, the mind is the Karanam. The mind is the cause for the analysis of the data, which are analysis of the data and classifying that as good or not good. So therefore, the mind has to be inferred. Gunadosha Vicharasya Upalabhyamanasya Anyata Anupapatya Tat Karanatvena Manaha Abhyupagantavyam. Therefore, the mind has to be inferred. You have to acknowledge the presence of the mind. Because of the knowledge of the vichara of Gunadosha. Vichara is done. The analysis is done. Analysis also is a knowledge. Based on that, you decide this is good, idam samichinam, idam asamichinam. So therefore, the mind is there. Therefore, manaha abhyupagantavya means the mind has to be acknowledged. Therefore, manasaha vairagya kamadi aneka vida vrittimatvam pradashanaya. In the mind, vairagya, kama, etc. These different types of vrittis are there in the mind. Therefore, the mind vrittimatvam, endowed with the vritti, such as vairagya, kava, etc. Iti aneka vida, different types of vrittis are there. Therefore, pradashanaya, to show that, therefore he says, sattvadi gunavattam darshayati sattvamiti. Therefore, to show that the mind has the different vrittis like vairagya, kama, etc. Therefore, the author, it says, Sattvadi Gunavattam Darshayati. Sattvadi Gunavattam Manaha Darshayati. Therefore, the author, the Sattvadi, the gunas of the mind, is the presence. The mind is influenced by these gunas. Therefore, mind has these gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tama, and Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, Gunavattam Manaha iti Darshayati. Because these vrittis are there in the mind, these vrittis are there in the mind, And therefore, these vrittis are classified as sattva, rajas, and tamas. Therefore, sattvadi gunavatvam manaha iti darshayati. Sattvam iti. So the author, therefore, he says the mind has the gunas, the gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. Because the vrittis, different types of vrittis, vairagya, kama, etc., they arise in the mind. Therefore, the mind must be endowed with these three gunas. Means the mind is influenced by the three gunas. Therefore, the mind undergoes changes. Vikaram prapnoti. Therefore, vikriyate hi taihi iti. See, whatever may be the guna, even though the mind is made of sattva guna, it has the ability to, or it has the susceptibility to be influenced by the gunas. Influenced by those gunas, whatever the gunas it influences, that mind, the mind becomes that. It shows that. It reveals that presence of the guna. The mind is nothing but reveals. Mind is not with the vritti. It reveals that guna. If the sense objects, suppose a sense object has a particular guna, a tamo guna, and the knowledge of that is revealed by the mind. Mind is prakashatmaka. It reveals, it presents, it reveals the knowledge. It shows what the object is. So when it is when the tamoguna influences the mind, therefore the mind, we call the mind tamoguna iti. When the mind influences, then the mind becomes tamoguna. Okay, so here the point to be noted, even though the mind is made up of sattvika aspect of the Panchamahabhuta, because it is influenced by sattva, rajas, tamas of the Vishayas, therefore the mind is said to undergo the vikara in the form of sattva, rajas, tamas. Tesham tad gunatve karanam aha vikriyate iti. Therefore, tesham tad gunatve. Tesham tad gunatve karanam aha vikriyate. Tesham referring to the vrittina. The vrittis have these gunas. Therefore, tad gunatve karanam aha vikriyate. The mind undergoes the change influenced by the gunas. Ki yataha, therefore, taiki gunaihi vikriyate vikaram prapnoti. Therefore, the mind undergoes change influenced by the gunas. Vikaram prapnoti. Vikriyate vikaram prapnoti. Gunadosha vicharakam manaha gunaihi vikriyate vikaram prapnoti. Okay. Then the next shloka. Now, what are the gunas? The three gunas are there: sattva, rajas, and tamas. There, the next three shlokas, the sattva, rajas, tamas gunas are presented. It is elaborately presented in the 14th chapter of the Gita. But here, what are the sattva guna? What are the rajo guna and tamo guna? Just for our knowledge, it is presented. That is, from the guna, we infer the guna. From the guna, we infer the guna. It means from the attributes, from the characteristics of a person or even of the object, we infer the guna of that object or the person. Even objects also have this guna. Even objects also enjoys these three types of gunas. Say, for example, the annam what we consume. Annam what we consume. Three types of food are there. The food which are satvika annam. The food which are rajasika produces rajas. The food which are tamas. So food influences the mind. That is why there are certain certain restriction with regard to food taken by a sannyasi or brahmachari. There are some foods which are aphrodisiac, not allowed to be consumed by the brahmachari and sannyasi. That is why it is not served in the Gurukul. Swamiji says this lavana, this garlic itself is not a food at all. He says should not be considered as a food at all because it influences the mind. So therefore, food also enjoys its guna. So influenced by the food, the mind also becomes that. So therefore, the mind enjoys sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna. That is, the person enjoyed. The person is nothing but what he consumes. Therefore, only one has to exercise caution with regard to what one consumes. The stale food should not be consumed because it influences the person. And the mind is very susceptible to this. The mind, as it is, it just reveals what it is. So it observes what it is and becomes that. It's like a clean mirror. Whatever you show in that, it reveals. So therefore, that's why influenced by the three gunas. That is why, as the food, with regard to annam, we have these three types, sattvika, rajas. Similarly, with regard to everything, with regard to every object, and therefore the persons also, the human beings also. Even with regard to animals, with regard to any beings, human beings also, there are three types of the human beings influenced. There are not three types. There are human beings influenced by, we say, four classifications. Chaturvarnya, that is different. That is also based on the predominance of the gunas only. That the classification is based on the four gunas, predominance of the guna based on which it is classified. These three gunas influence the human beings. And therefore, because of the manifestation of the gunas in the person is said to be sattvika, rajasika, tamasika. The person is said to be rajasika, tamasika, sattvika. Is sattvika person. Sattvika person means he exhibits sattvika qualities. What are the sattvika qualities, we ask? That is what the author says here. Sattvika, rajasika, tamasika. Influenced by the three gunas, that when that guna becomes predominant in a person, that becomes a character of the person. So three types of gunas are there. Therefore, influenced by the three gunas, the predominance of the three gunas, that determines the habit, or that determines the character of the person. Therefore, human beings can be divided generally into three, but Bhagavan Krishna divided into four. That is different. That we will see later. That is Chaturvarnyam, four ashrama. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam guna karma vivakasha. There also only three guna. How four division is possible? It is possible. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. So in Brahmana, Sattva is dominant. In Shudra, Tamoguna is dominant. Then in Kshatriya, Rajoguna is dominant, but it is backed up by Sattva. So they are closer to Brahmana. Whereas in the case of Vaishya, Rajoguna is dominant like that of Kshatriya, but it is backed up by Tamoguna. Therefore, they are closer to Shudra. So, therefore, the four is nothing but really it is three gunas. In Brahmana, Sattva Guna is dominant. In Kshatriya and Vaishya, Rajoguna is dominant. But because of the guna which backs up, there is a difference between them. And Shudra, of course, Tamoguna. So as we classify the human beings based on the guna, so based on guna we classify. This is not big new classification, it is naturally there. And also each human being enjoys the three gunas in a day, all the three gunas. It's not that only one guna dominates all the time. Based on the predominance of guna in the waking state, the person is classified as sattvika, rajasika, tamasika. But three gunas are required for the sustenance of a person, for survival of the person. Otherwise, if only Sattva-guna is the tamas is not there, the person cannot sleep. If sleep is not there, the person cannot survive. Sleep implies tamas. Action implies, activity implies rajas. Without action, also person cannot survive. He has to do action, at least eating action. So therefore, for the action and rest, all these are required even for a Sattvika person. Sattvika means doesn't mean all the time he will be pursuing knowledge. So even if the person also requires rest, he also requires action. Therefore, there is a mixture of these three gunas, and the three gunas are inferred from the action of the person, the character of the person. So that are listed. What are the attributes or the characters? What are the gunas, the attributes? So that they are given. Even though in the Gita it is elaborately done, gunatraya vivaha. Here some gunas are highlighted. Let us read the shloka number 14. Vairagyam kshantirodharyam
वैराग्यं
Vairagyam
शान्तिरौद्रार्यम्
इत्याद्या सत्त्वसम्भवाः
इत्याद्या सत्त्वसम्भवाः
कामक्रोधो लोभयत्नौ
कामक्रोधौ लोभयत्नौ
इत्याद्या रजसोत्थिताः
इत्याद्या रजसोत्थिताः
What are the gunas that are see, we use guna for both. Characteristics also guna, and they are born of guna. So the guna, the word is difficult to translate. And manas, for example, it is made of three gunas. And maya, the manas is made of the maya, which is made of three gunas. And the manas is sattva guna. So everywhere we use the word guna. From the maya, which is the gunatmika maya, the sense organs, mind, etc. comes. And sense organs at the level of sukshma, it is sattva. When they undergo panchikaranam, they become the gross. That time all the three gunas are present. Mind, sattva guna, but influenced by the three gunas. So everywhere this guna is there. So what is this? The translation of the guna? Guna cannot be translated. It's very difficult to define. When we say Trigunatmika Maya is, the Maya has three aspects, three great influential forces. Because it is a cause for this Jagat. Upadhi, Ishwar Upadhi. From the Karya we infer, all these are inferred from the Karya. Since in the Jagat we see these three types of guna manifesting through the different objects and beings, therefore we infer this must be present in the Karanam. This is also Karyanameyam. But there Sattva, Rajas, Tamas as the forces of creation, three influential forces. Now, in the objects and beings, as a character, as the characteristics, as attributes, these are classified as Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. So there is a difference. There is a difference between the two. Therefore, here, when we talk about the guna, here we translate as characteristics or attributes, qualities of beings. And when we talk about guna, maya, there we cannot say quality. There we have to use better word. That's why I said the forces. The forces which are responsible for the creation. Therefore, three influential forces. Okay, now here the certain gunas are listed here, which are born of sattva guna sambhavaha. That is vairagyam, kshantihi, Audharyam ityadya. Adipadat, therefore other, it's not a complete list. Vairagyam is Viragasya bhavaha vairagyam. So vairagyam implies viveka. Vairagyam implies viveka. So viveka is there, therefore vairagyam is. And kshantihi is endurance. To put up, that is the strength to put up. Accommodating people. That's a better translation. Kshantihi. Audaryam, udarasya bhavaha. That udarasya bhavaha, udara, generosity. The readiness to sacrifice. That is, etc. All these are born of sattva guna. These are born of sattva guna, or these are the indicators of sattva guna. That would be better. Sattva guna sambhavaha. These are born of sattva guna, or these are the indicators of sattva guna. So sattva guna is indicated by the exhibiting these qualities, these attributes. Vairagya, kshantihi, audaryam. If a person has vairagyam, kshantihi, audaryam, knowledge, intelligence, shanti as well as shanti, that indicates the person is sattvika. So indicators. Sattva guna sambhavaha. Sattva vikaraha. Sattva gunad utpannaha vikaraha iti. Similarly, kama krodho. Kamascha krodhascha kama krodho. Kama, the desire. Here it is not simple desire, it is intense desire, passionate desire, because krodha is that alone gets converted into krodha when it is obstructed, and lobha, greed, yatna, effort, pretna. So the effort for gaining the desire. So all these, the tendencies, all these are rajoguna uttita. They are the indicators of rajoguna. They are the indicators of rajoguna. That would be better translation. Rajasottita. Rajogunat uttitaha utpannaha vikaraha. They are indicators. You can translate as indicators. They are the indicators. So, vairagyam, kshantihi, audaryam, udarata, ityadyaha, evam vidaha, gunaha, sattva sambhavaha. They are the indicators of sattva guna, kama, krodha, lobha, yatna. All the other you can bring in kama, krodha, lobha, moha, vatsarya. All these are the indicators of rajoguna. Because of these gunas only, because of the predominance of these gunas only, there are different types of people. There are different degrees of these guna, therefore different types of people. No two person is same. There will always be a difference because of their karma. No two people will do the same karma and will enjoy the same karma pala. Even in the doing, there is a difference, therefore difference in the karma pala, therefore there is a difference. So that's why different permutation combination. Then here there's no much explanation because it is self-explanatory. Gunaihi tasya vikriyamanatvam eva prapanchayati. Vairagyam iti spashtatvat na vyakyayante. Spashtatvat, it is clear, therefore no vyakyanam is required. Then next one. Then the indicators of tamas is said. Let us read. Alasya bhranti tandradhyaha.
आलस्यन्तितान्तितन्त्रायाः
विकारास्तमसोत्थिताः
विकारास्तमसोत्थिताः
सात्विकैः पुण्यनिष्पत्तिः
सात्विकैः पुण्यनिष्पत्तिः
पापोत्पत्तिश्च राजसैः
पापोत्पत्तिश्च राजसैः
So the tamoguna, how tamoguna operates? Sattva operates in the form of manifestation of such gunas like vairagya, kshanti, audari, etc. Rajoguna operates in a human being in the form of the manifestation of this exhibiting these gunas, kama, krodha, etc. Then what about tamas? How does the tamas function in a person? How does it manifest in a person? Alasyam, sleepiness, alasyam, alasyam, laziness also, inaction, inactivity. The person is lazy. Lazy means tamoguna. Right? The tamoguna functions, we say. The person is lazy, means tamoguna is operative. So tamoguna is inferred. That is also inference only. Tamoguna is inferred. Therefore, the persons being same, one person is satvika, other one is tamasika. How do we say? Because of the gunas, because of the guna, and the gunas are inferred. Gunas are inferred through their action, through their attitude. Therefore, only here we say this are the qualities. Tamo guna means tamo, here it is attribute quality. This quality which is exhibited in a person, alasyam, inaction, sleepiness, slothfulness, bhranti, delusion. The tamasika, how can it be intelligent? The tamas is dominant. There is no sattva or less of sattva. Therefore, bhranti. And tandra. Tandra means laziness. That is why alasyam is slothfulness, tandra is laziness. Because of tandra, there may be alasya. That is also possible. Anyway, the tandra is lazy. Adi padat, all the other gunas which are not mentioned, all these are tamasa, uttitaha, vikaraha, all these are born of tamas. Now, the second line is important. Satvikegi karmegi punya nishpattihi papotpattisya rajasehi. Satvika. Satvikegi सात्विकैः पुण्य निष्पत्ति सात्विकैः कर्मभिः पुण्य निष्पत्ति. The punya is generated, punya is produced by sattva. By sattva means the sattva by the sattva सात्विकैः कर्मभिः. Satvika karmabhihi punya nishpatti. Punya is the result of karma pala, punya and papa. Therefore, doing is involved. So karma which are sattvika. So we have to present, we have to add, supply the word karya. Karya is not there. Therefore, sattvikehi karmabhihi. Karma also we classify based on its nature as sattvika, rajasika, tamasika. So sattvika karma produces punya and rajasika produces papam. Rajasika produces papam. So therefore, sattva produces punya, rajas produces papam. Now, rajas produces this rajas produces papam means the rajas without any association with sattva produces papam. Rajas produces papam. Papa utpatti. The rajoguna, rajas stands for action, and the action when it is not guided by sattva, the sattva is not there or sattva is less. That results in doing papa karma. So punyam as a karma pala is inferred from this action. Therefore, action is good action. Papa karma, dharmika karma is following his duty, doing nitya mittika the karma is a dharmika one. And papam, again it is inferred from his karma, which are impelled by the rajoguna. Therefore, satvikaihi, vikaraihi, punya nishpattihi, rajasaihi, vikaraihi, papa utpattihi, papasya utpattihi bhavati. So in producing the punya, there is a vikara of sattva guna. In producing the papa, there is a vikara of rajoguna. So rajoguna becomes the karanam for producing papam, adrishtapalam papam, and sattva becomes the karanam for producing punyam. Therefore only sattva guna is praised, because sattva sanjayate sukham. Sukham is only by punyam. By papam you get only dukkham. Therefore, since we all aspire for sukha, therefore sattvagunasya prashamsa shastram karoti. Prashamsam karoti shastra. Shastra praise sattva-guna. Why? Because it produces punyam. And punya produces sukham. Since we all aspire for sukham, therefore, sattva is praised. Sattva is praised. It means when rajas is guided by sattva, see, when rajas is guided by sattva, it will not produce papam. The kshatriyas are those in whom rajas is dominant, because they are guided by sattva, or they are supposed to be guided by sattva. They are supposed to be guided by sattva, therefore the action produces punya. If they are not guided by sattva, like in the case of Duryodhana, they engage in adharmika activities. So this is supposed to be. So therefore here, rajas produces papam means, rajas without sattva, there is no viveka, there is no thinking involved in doing, the person does, and the karyam what he does will be a papa karma, therefore produces papam, papa nishpattihi. So vairagyadinam karyani vibhajya darshayati satvikagi iti. So here also it is self-explanatory, therefore vyakyanam is not there. And what about the tamas? Tamas, he says in the next line. We'll see that in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavadah.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
Guruji.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಶರಣಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.